Alright, since it's come up a couple times and people were asking me about this, we're gonna go over how to use Steam CMD on Windows 7 to update games, since Steam has a different system in how games are being downloaded to the client, and it just doesn't work on Windows 7 anymore, which is rather unfortunate. And games end up downloading a portion and then just brick out saying content unavailable, and you can't do anything about it unless you use a few workarounds. Steam CMD is one of them. So TF2 just downloads to a certain percentage, in this case 69%, which is pretty nice, but unfortunately is going to be stuck and won't progress further than that. So what we're going to do is just load up Steam CMD by Googling for it. Basically, the first one is Valve Developer Community. It's an official Valve link, so there's no danger of getting anywhere and malicious software and all that shit. And we're just going to download it for Windows. If you're on Windows, you can also download it for Linux, and there's even a Mac OS version, which I don't know why anybody would use that, but okay, you do you. So I'm just gonna get this, downloading it, I'm just opening this, and then Steam CMD is just right here, and we're gonna put it in my backup drive. I'm just gonna make a new folder for the sake of ease, call it Steam CMD, and put that in here. We're just gonna run it. Now it's downloading all necessary stuff that's required. It's going to take a bit, and then we can just exit this. After it's done, install. And it closes itself. So we got this. If we just launch Steam CMD, it's just gonna try an update, which does not work for Windows 7, as it's not supported anymore, and just automatically closes or doesn't do anything. So we're just gonna make a shortcut. Go to the properties of the shortcut, and then we're just gonna put override min OS behind this, so it doesn't try to update. And then run this again. And it works. So we're at our Steam login right now. Since we're on the client, we can't log in here at the same time, so we gotta close this down. Now we can just do our normal login procedure via the username. And if you don't have any credentials cached, it's gonna ask you for your password, and you're not gonna see it being typed out. It's gonna stay blank, but you're definitely typing something. And it says logging in, Steam Public, account is protected by SteamGuard Mobile Authenticator. Please confirm the login in the Steam mobile app on your phone. And then you just get a notification of a sign-in attempt on your phone. You even hold my phone. And then you just open the Steam app, which anybody should have for security reasons, right? And then you just approve this login, and this continues as it should. And now we're logged in. We're pretty much ready for the next step of linking up our existing Steam library with Steam CMD. So Steam CMD doesn't just install everything in its own folder in here. Create the SteamApps, which everything would be downloaded in, but we don't want that if we already have a a Steam installation with games and everything. So we definitely want to link this up with this. How I did it over here in my installation like that. We can't just make a shortcut either, because if you do that and you make a shortcut to the Steam apps from here, it doesn't work that way, even though it looks, and that was my initial mistake, which kind of confused a lot of people. Not working as it should have. You can also see it if we just go on this, it goes to games, Steam apps, and if we go on this, it stays in the Steam CMD folder and then Steam apps, but loads up the actual Steam apps directory. So that's the difference right over here. And to link these up, we need to run the Windows CMD, which I just made a shortcut over here, and we gotta run it as administrator. Now we're just gonna link up the directories with make link /d, and target directory is J, where our Steam CMD is located. We're gonna make a SteamApps, and the target there, from where it's coming from, is SteamApps. And it should be making a connection. And it did. And if we open this, connect SteamCMD, SteamApps, and it's the exact same as, well, the installation. So we can close this. We don't need this anymore. We can just load up SteamCMD again. We're gonna log in. And now we're gonna app_update. And then you type in the app ID for whatever you want to install, you want to update. For example, right now, TF2, the app ID is 440. And we press enter. And SteamCMD is updating the game. Depending on the size of what you're downloading or what you're updating, this is going to take as long as it takes. You can see the progress of it all, and once it's done, it's going to say successful. Verifying the update too. And success, app 440 fully installed. And now you can just exit this again, close it down, and load up Steam normally like you would any other time. Another thing that came up in a conversation with someone who wanted to make this work as well was they had games installed in a different drive. For instance, my Steam is on my E drive, but they also had games on a different drive. So it creates a Steam library folder and then Steam apps. So if you want to connect Steam CMD with another derived install directory of certain games, you will have to do the process with that just the same way we did it on the normal Steam installation. If we load up Steam, it's all going to look a bit funky because Windows 7 but when it's done, the game is updated. It's not going to be in our download list anymore, and you can load it up and you can play it. And we're back in. There we go. We got our beautiful red button informing us of Windows 7 being our preferred choice of operating system, and our list is to launch TF2. Starting up. And you can do this with any game, with any software. Some people had issues with Steam common redistributables, and you can do the same thing with those as well, should they error out. All you have to do for that is just to find the app ID. You can find them usually in software, I think. Never mind. Tools. Yeah, tools. If you want the app ID for this, since it doesn't have a store page, you can just load up SteamDB, search for common redistributables. Get the app ID that way. Yeah, that's really all you need to continue using Steam with Windows 7. There are some other ways you can do this, but this is the way that I tried. This is the way that works for me, and because of that I don't need any other ways, for now anyway. Until Gaben decides to make it a little bit more complicated once again.